Basically, the problem is that people get too stuck up on ideology and things like that. They replace ideology for human beings. And they forgot how to connect with people genuinely. That's the problem. That's a lot of the problem with the world, basically, is the lack of honest communication. But also on the internet, people can't text properly. They can't articulate themselves properly. So therefore, there's lots of communication errors and miscommunication, and that's where all this fake news and misinformation comes in. A lot of it, at least, and that's unfortunate. That's also unfortunate because things get retweeted by algorithms usually, and things seem more cemented as a reality than they are, because that's just the nature of the way the internet works with bots and stuff and software. Lots of data and information gets basically transported all over the internet, and then it stays. And then sometimes the bots will replicate themselves into a fucking account and create accounts where they target other bot accounts. And you see all these likes and stuff, and a lot of that stuff aren't even human beings. It's actually cybersecurity from other foreign intelligences. I mean, it's easy. Even Putin said something about a few years ago, whoever controls cybersecurity controls the world, because he's trying to control a narrative. You can create a narrative with bots, and then you can echo chamber a reality that doesn't even exist. How many of those people are actually humans? Well, there are some humans, I would imagine, that get involved in it, but a huge amount is bots. And honestly, all this communication needs to stop. I mean, all this lack of communication needs to stop. Things are it's just too ridiculous at this point. It's just too ridiculous. And people are fighting over dumb things. People are fighting for dumb reasons. The power grabs for dumb reasons. It can't be executed properly to the point where it only benefits a certain group of people. Basically, the story is that mankind has repeated itself over and over and over and over and over again. 3,000 years ago, there was the Baghdad battery. Mankind got to a certain point, boom, fucking start that shit all over again. Seriously, people reach a certain level of technological prowess, and then they run with the tools and the technology, but they are too weak and they don't know how to cooperate in the sense of there aren't pointless power struggles, but what is necessary for a cohesive level of cooperating and proliferating to some sense, because like I said, every so often, every thousands of years, it's like humanity repeats itself in cycles. That's why if you read the myths, it's all the same myth being retold in different languages, basically. It's because, I mean, they found evidence of ancient technology. It's obvious. Humans get to a point where they basically repeat the same mistakes, and everybody dies in the end. Everybody, elite, poor, whatever the fuck, everybody. There's not it reaches a point, I believe that, and I also believe that the world has its own self-correcting mechanism. The earth itself has its own self-correcting mechanism. And the earth itself rights natural wrongs. Mother Nature works in, they always say God works in mysterious ways. I believe there's some consciousness that works through the magnetosphere, let alone other animals and stuff. Humans think, we can talk about aliens all day, but what's really interesting, why talk about aliens? That's silly if you think about it, because the real intelligences of the planet are whales and dolphins, and I've said it plenty of times. John Lilly discovered this in his research. Those sonar waves in there, why there are these natural disasters, people take it for granted. What's really happening? Really, what's really happening? What's really happening? And Leviathan, if you look in the story of the Bible, Leviathan was a gigantic ancient whale, is what Leviathan was. So, it was a water beast, huge, bigger than any other modern whale, and whales are fucking huge. So the intelligence that thing must have possessed, I mean, how could a human being, how could anybody measure the intelligence of something greater than them? You wouldn't be able to. So people think aliens and stuff. But if a whale were in fact so much more intelligent, and a dolphin much more intelligent, people would be oblivious to it. They'd be oblivious to it because it's smarter than them, and they can't map it. They can't map them. You can't map a mind if it's smarter than your mind, or else you would have the same mind. So people would be oblivious. And I do believe that's all. I do believe there's some natural order on the planet, and it corrects itself. And humans often end up doing a lot of the correction just by wiping themselves out, and then repeating with the same stories. And there will be some survivors. And that motherfucker will be like Moses. And he'll write some things down on some clay tablets. And then civilization will start and blah, blah, blah. And it just repeats itself over and over again.